Are you struggling to keep up with your mortgage, student loan repayments, credit card bills, or other debts? Do you want to pay off your debt quicker? Well, if so, rest assured, you aren't alone. According to the latest data from Experian, the average American household owed $101,915 worth of combined debt in 2022. Granted, some of that comes down to things like major home and auto loans, but over $5,000 per person came down to credit card bills, while just over $17,000 was personal loan debt. As you may know all too well, every new debt you take on has a way of robbing you of extra money that could be going toward paying off your home or stashing away money for retirement. But what do you do if you're sick of carrying debt around with no end in sight? In this video, we're going to share 7 tips and tricks to pay off debt quicker. Hey everyone, this is Andy Hill from Marriage, Kids, and Money, a channel dedicated to helping you strengthen your family tree so you can live financially free. If you like what you hear today, please consider giving me the YouTube triple thanks. That's hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel, and then commenting maybe some tips you have down below. Thanks. Unfortunately, there are no magic bullets when it comes to paying off debt overnight, with the possible exception of finding yourself a lucky lotto winner. But the good news is that it's possible to pay off debt faster if you put your mind to it. A lot of it comes down to 2 key factors: paying much closer attention to your money and developing a solid debt repayment strategy. Let's dive in. Number 1, get clear on your existing debt. I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna be one of the most painful parts, but if you really want to ditch debt once and for all, it's incredibly important. Many of us use the time-tested method of coping with too much debt by sending off our minimum payments each month without ever really paying attention to our balances. Unfortunately, the whole out of sight, out of mind thing is part of what's keeping you stuck in the debt cycle. If you really want to set off on a hardcore debt repayment journey, then it's time to sit down and get all your debts together in one place. Whether it be on a spreadsheet or a piece of notebook paper, create a list of all your debts, from your auto loan to the $5 you borrowed from your coworker to tack on a side of chips and salsa at Chipotle. Be sure to include the following info: everyone you owe money to, how much you owe them, the minimum monthly payments, and the interest rate on each of those debts. While it may not always be pleasant, rest assured that you've taken the first step toward a debt-free future by gaining clarity about your situation. Number 2, choose a payment strategy. Later on, we'll discuss ways to free up extra cash to help you pay off debts more quickly, but first, let's talk strategy when it comes to debt paydown. If you're juggling multiple payments each month, then there are 2 different approaches to deciding how much of your budget to put towards each. The first is known as the debt snowball method, while the second is commonly referred to as the debt avalanche method. Let's take a closer look at each of these delightfully snowy metaphors and how they can work for you. First, there's the debt snowball method. The debt snowball method works by lining up your debts in a row and paying off the one with the smallest balance first, then focusing on the next smallest debt, and so on, like a snowball going down a hill. At this point, you may be thinking, well, shouldn't I pay off the one with the highest interest rate or the largest balance? These are both legit questions, but the debt snowball approach is less about math and more about psychology. The idea is that as you pay off more and more debts, your metaphorical debt snowball will grow mightier along with your motivation. The fewer debts you have to keep up with, the more focus you'll be able to give the larger ones when their time comes. Then there's the debt avalanche method. While the debt snowball works by wiping out your smallest debt first, the debt avalanche approach advises you to begin by tackling the debts with the highest interest rate. The idea, of course, is that by slashing high interest payments, you'll have more money to pay off debt overall. This approach requires a little bit more tolerance for delayed gratification, but it's just as solid of an approach. It's really about figuring out which method works best for you. Number 3, credit counseling. Another option is to sign up with a nonprofit credit counseling company. Many credit counseling services are free and will help you consolidate all of your bills bills into one payment each month. Credit counselors can also negotiate with your creditors on your behalf and convince them to stop charging you interest as long as you agree to pay off your loans in full. Just beware that you will likely be required to stop using credit cards altogether until your total debt balance is paid off. Number 4, reduce your spending. Now that you've got a good idea of how much debt you owe, it's time to take a look at where your money is going. If you really want to be debt-free, it may require tightening the old purse strings for a while. Budgeting apps can help you figure out how much money you spend each month on a variety of different categories. A few of our favorites are Mint, YNAB, and Monarch Money. Apps like these can be very helpful when it comes to creating a monthly budget that caps how much you'll spend on things like groceries, entertainment, and other expenses. But be sure that you also look at things that you pay for on a monthly basis. Take a minute to get all of your monthly subscriptions in one place and see if you could save money by finding a better deal or cutting out some of them altogether. Number 5, lower your cell phone bill. Is your cell phone bill eating up more of your monthly budget than you'd like? These days, there are plenty of carrier options, some of which have better deals than others. For instance, our video sponsor Tello offers unlimited data and minutes for just $29 per month. They even throw in free hotspot and Wi-Fi calls, as well as free international calls to over 60 different countries. We switched from Verizon to Tello last year as a family, and not only did we cut our bills nearly in half, but we found the service to be comparable to Verizon as well. Find their latest prices and offers by using the link in our video description, and you can save some money and you can support this channel. Number 6, scrutinize your streaming subscriptions. There's nothing wrong with putting a little cash on streaming subscriptions you actually watch, but it's time to cut the ones you don't watch. One of the quickest ways to save money on streaming is to pick 1 or 2 favorite subscriptions to keep and then cut the rest. If it turns out you absolutely can't live without one of them, you can always resubscribe, but you'll likely be surprised. And are you still paying for cable? Consider whether it'd be cheaper to watch your shows through a streaming service like Amazon Prime, or to invest in an indoor TV antenna that can pick up a ton of channels for free. Number 7, don't waste extra money on wishful thinking. Few are those who have escaped the trap of signing up for a gym they've been to exactly once. If you found yourself in this situation, then it's time to break up with that monthly gym membership fee. Don't get us wrong, if you work out regularly 3-4 times a week, then by all means, it's worth the extra cash. But if you're paying $30 or $40 or even more a month to hit up the gym once every 2 weeks or once a month, it's time to take up jogging or exercising through free YouTube videos instead. My favorite YouTuber is Bully Juice for that, by the way. With all the extra money you'll save, you could pay off debt quicker and even pick up some weights, a new bike, or other exercise equipment you're likely to use at home. Hopefully this has given you some helpful hints about how to pay off debt more quickly. With a little extra focus and a lot of persistence, it's possible to pay off debt fast and save a lot of money in the process. In the meantime, beware of high interest rates, stick to your debt payoff plan, and cut your bills with discount phone services like Tello. There are easy ways to save more without sacrificing your happiness, and I definitely put low-cost cell phone services like Tello in that bucket. Find their link in our video description, save yourself some money, and pay off your debt quicker with the difference. Well, enough from our side, everyone. We want to hear from you. What's your plan to pay off your debt quicker? What other tips would you share to help people along their journey? Please let us know in the comments below. This is Andy Hill from Marriage, Kids, and Money, signing off. Carpe diem.